Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Construction worker identified in Westmoreland double murder. Two Westmoreland construction workers were killed on the job after a gunman entered the yard and shot them multiple times in Betterton on Wednesday afternoon. The deceased have been identified as 47-year-old Lester Barrett, otherwise called Bigger, from the community, and Michael Wallace. A third man is also in hospital in critical condition. According to the police, the three men were digging a foundation to build a fence at a residence in Betterton when they were pounced upon by a gunman who opened fire, hitting all three. When the shooting subsided, Barrett was found seated on the ground next to a motorcycle with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his head and chest. Meanwhile, Wallace was found lying face down in a ditch with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to his chest. The third man was seen suffering from gunshot wounds to his buttocks and left knee. The injured men were transported to hospital, where Wallace and Barrett were pronounced dead. Residents described Barrett as a family man who focused mainly on his missionary trade, as he was the sole breadwinner for his family. 56-year-old charged in $90 million drug bust at Norman Manley International Airport. 56-year-old Robert Chin has been charged in relation to the $90 million cocaine bust at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Monday, January 2nd. Reports are that about 7 a.m., Chin, who is of a Mona address in Kingston, was attempting to board a departing flight to the United States of America, but managed to evade arrest after abnormalities were detected in his suitcase assigned to him. A search of the luggage was conducted, and the illicit drug, with an estimated street value of US $600,000, was found. Chin was later arrested about 6:30 p.m. the same day. Chin has been charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, attempting to export cocaine, and conspiracy to export cocaine. He is scheduled to appear before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday, January 6. People's National Party Vice President Mickey Phillips confirmed in a statement on Wednesday that his brother had been implicated in the incident. Clarendon farmer charged with murder breaches of Firearm Act. A 37-year-old farmer of Racecourse in Clarendon has been charged with murder and illegal possession of firearm ammunition following an incident in the parish on September 18, 2022. Raj Bumpy Robinson has been charged in connection with the murder of Auden Bola. Reports are that about 10:05 p.m., Bola drove Racecourse and was attacked and shot by Robinson and one of the accomplices as he tried to exit the vehicle. Bola was assisted to hospital by residents, where he was subsequently pronounced dead. Robinson was arrested on Wednesday in connection with the murder. He is to appear before the Clarendon Parish Court on Tuesday, January 10. Cop saves man life in knife fight, charges the other. A police sergeant intervened in a knife fight between two men in Highgate, St. Mary on Sunday, December 25th, saving one man's life and charging the other for wounding with intent. Charge is Philip Williams, 24, a construction worker of Belfield in the parish. Reports are that about 2:40 a.m., the police sergeant was leading a foot patrol team through Highgate when he saw Williams and another man fighting. He then intervened, foiling the brawl and facilitating the transportation of the injured man to a medical facility. Arnett mechanic charged after theft of police car. A man has been charged with larceny of motor vehicle and receiving stolen property following the theft of a police service vehicle from a home in Greater Portmore, St. Catherine on Friday, December 23rd. Charge is 40-year-old Francis, otherwise called Wiggy, a mechanic of Arnett Gardens in St. Andrew. Reports are that about 3:50 a.m., the Toyota Probox police car was stolen from the house of a member of the constabulary and was later recovered at Francis' address in St. Andrew. He was arrested about 9:50 a.m. on the same day and gave a caution statement to the police as to how he came into possession of the vehicle. Francis was formally charged on Tuesday and is scheduled to appear before the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday, January 13. Government to partner with churches for intervention program to support mental health. The government will be pursuing a major intervention program to support mental health in the country. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement while speaking during the National Day of Prayer yesterday, January 4, 2023. He said he will be discussing with the churches how they can use nationally for mental health interventions. Mr. Holness stressed that churches have a unique and crucial role to play in supporting the mental health of their communities. He added that too many Jamaicans facing mental health crisis are not seeking help.
But more and more, we're seeing that governments have to pay attention to the mental health of the population. It's very sad to read in the papers or to see the reports of persons who no longer have any value for their life or the life of their loved ones. And it's always very hurtful to me when I see these reports of someone saying, I'm going to end your life and I'm going to end my life. What would have happened for them to have lost the fear of God, to respect life? Something went wrong. Some time ago, I had the opportunity to address you, and I pointed out that while we are the government and we make policy and make laws, we also have a duty to develop the hardware of men. But more and more, we're seeing that governments have to pay attention to the mental health of the population. With the change in our society, the access to information, the demands that are placed upon us these days, sometimes those pressures can lead us to devalue life. Now, I want to say to you that we are blessed to have such a strong religious culture in Jamaica. We are blessed. And so when I mentioned that we have to now focus on the hardware, it took a little time for us to work out how we will do this hardware intervention. It is not something that the government can do by itself. It is something that has to be done in conjunction with the church and civil society. It's a whole of nation approach to ensuring our mental health, the moral standards of the society as well, the cultural practices of the society, to make them in keeping with what we would consider to be pro-growth, pro-social, meaning we respect everyone in the society. We Jamaicans, we have a cultural thing about us where we believe we little, but we talawa. We can take on problems that are bigger than us. We don't need nobody to help us with anything. We little, but we talawa. We can take on the problems. And it is particularly the case for our men. They keep the problems inside, they don't talk about it, and it boils up. And then one little thing happens. A man step on your toe, somebody says something wrong to you, and you explode. And as a result of that, a life is taken. So a part of the hardware strategy that I will be sitting down with the church to discuss is how can we have greater interventions? How can we use the church nationally for these kinds of intervention? And we need to start a public education campaign, not just from the government, not just from the Ministry of Health, but also from our churches and other organizations and entities, to get our Jamaicans to change this culture of not trying to seek help when they are in crisis. And there are many, many of you here experiencing all kinds of crisis in your lives, but you're not recognizing them as such. And you're not recognizing that an intervention, somebody to sit and talk with you, somebody to give you advice, even for the point of just offloading, break down and cry, helps you to get over it and get past it and to develop the inner strength and the renewed hope and faith that you will overcome the crisis. So the government will be pursuing a direct and deliberate program with the churches to have a more robust intervention to support mental health in the country.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell